Bet you already know what it is. It is the Self-Medicated Podcast for Monday, November 16th. We literally just talked about this. Monday, November 16th. I am your host, as always, The Wayfarer, here with the captain of the Igloo. Let's go ahead and knock out our housekeeping before we get into this week's episode. Make sure you go follow us on Instagram at the Self-Med Pod. Make sure you subscribe and leave a review wherever you're listening to this at. Literally anywhere. Apple Music, Spotify Music, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Alexa, and coming to a YouTube near you very, very soon. Very soon. Like literally next week. Actually, when you see this, within hours, the video will be coming out.
Put the pressure on this brother, too.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Of course. Yes. So that, make sure you're listening. Leave a review, subscribe wherever you're listening to this, and tell a friend about it, too. Make sure you share the clips with your people. I'm sure there's something we talk about that they may be interested in. All right, and then make sure you check out our over-the-counter episodes. Those are every Friday. Those are the episodes we engage with our listeners, picking topics directly from y'all, giving out advice, and letting y'all join in on the show. So y'all can call in if you need to stay anonymous, any of that. Just slide in the DMs and we can work it out for you. As a reminder, we do not record those live. We make sure that we find a time and pre-record those so that we can do what we need to do with that. So, slide in the DMs if you're trying to be a part of the over-the-counter episodes on every Friday. Last but not least, our organic shout-out. This one was a good one. I like this organic shout-out. This week's organic shout-out goes to the Puff Chronicles podcast. Puff Chron on IG, PuffChron on Instagram. So it's hosted by Jessica and Jasmine. This podcast is filled with
J-Team.
J-Team. That was one of the things that stood out. But it's filled with the most recent pop culture tea, political commentary, and laughter. They also on their website have a bunch of dope wines. So they're doing like reviews and putting different wines on. So they're dope. So make sure y'all go check them out. At Puff Chron. Go follow Jessica and Jasmine as well. Make sure you tell them that the Self-Medicated Podcast sent you. I'm trying to think. Any other housekeeper items? We got any live shows coming up?
Yeah, we got a bunch of live shows in 2021.
Going on tour, baby.
Yeah. Corona tour.
Right.
First stop, Houston.
Very first stop, Houston. We on the way. Never mind. We should just go to Houston.
Yeah, I could go to Houston, man.
Yeah, we should just. There's this place called Turkey Leg Hut.
I've never been. I always see it on the internet.
That's my public excuse to I want to go to Houston. Try that place out.
That's exactly why you want to go to Houston.
All right, let's get into the show, man. Oh, yeah. Hear ye. It's the Self-Medicated Podcast for Monday, November 16th. I am your host, The Wayfarer, a.k.a. Quentin Quarantino, a.k.a. the Banter Boss, a.k.a. Jon Snow, because I know absolutely nothing.
You know nothing, Jon Snow.
And these are facts. Here's always with the captain of the Igloo, young, popular, and friendly, a.k.a. the Box Hunter, a.k.a. One Pop Poppy, a.k.a. the Bottom Feeder. What's up with that new nickname, man? You still ain't?
Oh, I'm saving it for the top of the year, brother. I want you to go into the new year with the new name. You know what I'm saying? New year, new me.
New year, new me. New name, new me.
Exactly.
All right. I'll stay with Jon Snow for now.
And that other one is going to be kind of long, so.
Is it?
Yeah, you might have to go. I don't know. It's going to be interesting.
So since I do the intros, does that mean that I get discretion over how much of that I get to actually approve? Or are you going to edit in your own?
I feel like you already get enough creating your own goddamn AKAs. I think you're good.
That's plenty. That is plenty. How's your week been, man? What you been up to?
It's been good, man. Got that flu shot.
Oh, did you?
I did.
So you're about to be sick any minute now.
Nah, I feel like you get sick. I got it on Tuesday, so I feel like if I would have been sick, I would have been sick by now. Yeah, so, so I'm out here flu-free, COVID-free.
That's what's up.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm feeling great. Weather's getting cold, which, works for me. So I'm feeling good about this the past week, man. How about yourself?
I am not a cold weather fan. I just don't like it. It makes me upset. I have
Makes me upset.
Yeah, we have a dog. We got Nola. So anytime I have to walk her, and like just the fact of putting on so many layers of clothes, like just to feel like going outside is a chore, that's what I don't like. I don't like that shit. In the summertime, it's cool because like I could literally, it doesn't matter what I'm wearing, just get up, go outside, walk. You know what I'm saying? Walk the dog. It's just in and out. But now it's like, damn, I got to check the weather report. If it's in the 30s, I mean, I need to put a hoodie on and my coat. Right, like it's extra shit because depending on how long I gotta walk the dog, it really honestly just depends. But I'm not a fan of the cold weather. Last week I was in heaven when it was unseasonably warm for November, but now it's just we back to November. I still think we're gonna get like a mild winter though.
Probably, yeah.
I'm praying that we get a mild winter. Wedding planning stuff is moving along. Made some wardrobe decisions. For the groomsmen and bridesmaids, so that's cool. Save the dates should be coming soon. I meant to bring you one just so you could see it.
Check it out. Have you seen the suit compositions together? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. So you just go in and pick out what you want, and
so when you go in, you're gonna get fitted.
No, I mean like when you originally went in, do they give you like a magazine or a catalog and you just kind of pick?
Oh yeah, Whitney did that.
Okay. You didn't go with her?
Nope.
So you just gonna let a woman? No,
well, so let's see. How do I
see? That's like because I know in the past you've mentioned wanting to like have input into picking certain things. I'm surprised that wasn't something you decided to do for yourself. I'm surprised you relinquished that or allow her to pick on that one. That's interesting to me.
You know, so we talked. We had. So I think I've been talking about. We've been going to like couples therapy.
Okay.
And
control freak.
and one of the things that we talked about in therapy was kind of this concept of this wedding and get into the understanding of what it is and why we're doing it. And I think that it was super helpful conversation for her, but it was also helpful for me to like kind of remember why I'm doing this.
Okay.
And that also helps me relinquish a lot of control around shit because I like truly and honestly, when it comes down to what I care about, I don't. Right. And so for me to like have these really strong opinions or like want to even control something or have the final say in something is kind of just me grasping for control in the thing that I'm just not making a lot of decisions in. And when it comes down to it, it's like none of these decisions, I don't feel a way about any decision, either way that it's made. So like that was something that I had to realize is like you don't like you can just to have a say's sake is not productive or helpful to the process.
Sounds like therapy didn't go your way this time.
I would say it actually did go my way because it actually helped make my points, right? Because like some things it don't have to be no 2, 3, 4 week long discussion about. Like, it could just be like, hey, what do you think of this? It's cool. I don't care. I don't like it, and just move forward, right? Like it don't have to be this. This complicated thing. So with the clothes. Also, honestly speaking, that was going to be pretty much, I wasn't going to be able to control what it was anyway. My original plan was to have all my groomsmen within the color scheme decide if they wanted to do like a vest or suspenders or the jacket, right? Like to be within the ensemble, but maybe let everybody choose which ensemble they wanted.
There's no vest, right?
There is a vest.
Oh, man.
So, yeah, there's a vest.
I never wore a vest before. Well, I haven't worn a vest since I was a child. I'll say that I have worn it before.
It's So yeah, yeah, and then also
I'm glad you said that. Any complaints? I'm just going to send them Whitney's way.
Yeah, straight to her. She has an Instagram. You got her phone number.
I like fucking with her sometimes.
Yeah, it's so hilarious. it's honestly funny. But yeah, other than that, everything was cool. I had a pretty lightweight work week. That worked. The alliteration, lightweight work week.
Almost a tongue twister. Are you working? I thought you had a bunch of days off.
Bro, I worked Tuesday and Friday this week.
That's a great schedule right there, man.
No. I'm sorry. Tuesday and Thursday this week.
That's even better.
So Monday I took off. Tuesday I worked. Wednesday we were closed for Veterans Day. And
Friday you're off.
Yeah, no, I took off on Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was sick. Yeah. I still got. I have so much PTO time left that it's just gonna. I'm basically just holler at me in January, bro. Honestly, at this point. So yeah, the post-election world has been very, very interesting. You heard about the Million MAGA March?
I didn't know about that until you mentioned it earlier.
So the Million MAGA March, we're recording this on Saturday. I think it happened today. So
is that an appropriation?
The Million MAGA March.
Yeah.
Yes, it is appropriation.
Okay, I thought so. Because I feel like marching in the millions wasn't a thing to...
Marching in the million.
like, you never heard that before, the Million Man March.
Yeah, no, you definitely didn't.
Like, that wasn't a goal for niggas. Or
Have a million people.
white people
or
or
white people.
Yeah. They would
really
just get
marching,
together, then try to estimate the numbers.
honestly,
That was a
marching
goal.
in general.
Gandhi had people marching for real. They were marching like crazy long distances. 'Cause that's where MLK got MLK.
That's where he got it from.
That sound like a rapper.
MLK. I bet you it is
Woo,
somebody.
if I ever
so-
start doing cocaine rap,
MLK. MLK. Mississippi, Louisiana. That's where they from. That's where they traffic. That was the
I-95.
right. So yeah, this Million MAGA March I think is very, very interesting because for a few reasons. Number one, this is I don't know how it was marketed, but it's basically a farewell celebration, right? Right? Like I don't know if they marketed it as we ain't a going nowhere type shit, right? Like, finish the count. We still got these lawsuits and we're celebrating and showing our power that like MAGA Man is still supported. I don't know if that was the goal and the purpose behind it, but really to me, what it looks like, the optics are a farewell celebration. It's like we're gonna miss you type thing. I don't know if you saw this too, but like Trump drove through it.
Have they ever done that for a president?
A farewell,
Yeah, I don't recall.
not to this type of scale, or like not in this way for sure. The other funny part about it is Trump, his motorcade actually drove through it on his way to go play some golf.
Of course, he had to like catch the
So
vibe.
yeah,
and, you know what I'm saying?
had to go say
His
hi to
ego
his people.
stroke.
But I think that this is interesting because I think it speaks to something that's happening in this country, and I think that is very, very interesting dynamic that's happening. I believe
Okay.
that the definitions of Democrats and Republicans are about to shift again. They're about to reverse back.
Back to before Emancipation Proclamation.
Exactly. I think what's happening here is a transition of identities in America. And I think that what's really happening is it's just getting updated. Our values as a country and as a society are getting updated. I think that for the most part, what people have traditionally been divided along political lines, they're not divided along anymore, right? Like they're not those traditional political things that are dividing people. I think what has started to divide people a little bit more, and representatives in terms of candidates and people running for office are starting to lean into a little bit more, is it's not so much about the identities of people, but the experiences of people, which talks a lot more about class and the way that people are experiencing America. And what's happening is the people are bucking against our representative system right now because we're feeling like nobody is truly accurately representing us. And I believe what happens is... Go ahead.
I feel like that is true for the Democrats, but I don't know if the Republicans feel the same way.
So what I think is happening on the Republican side is I think that they are a lot more open. I think that the traditional Republican values aren't different. But I also think that they're a lot more willing to listen to people that challenges or updates with those values or how those values look today.
Because it's probably more middle-leaning Republicans than are extremists, I'm assuming.
Not only that, but I think that when you have the Republican Party can't lean on voter turnout to accurately describe or track the popularity of their party, right?
Okay.
They kind of have to track think about the alternative name for Republicans is conservatives. These people are not talking about their action, like their political actions, right? So like it's really hard to track who your base is and how it's growing if people aren't talking about their behavior or their actions, and you can't track it. So I think that the Republicans are forced to be a little bit more creative in designing talking points and listening to people and putting certain people on camera with their talking points to attract certain people because they have to speak to people a little bit more. Democrats can lean on just their values and what they think is right or wrong. They don't have to lean so much into who the people actually are, if that makes sense, that are representing them.
Okay.
And I feel like when that happens, this is why you get things like every demographic increasing their Republican voting, every of color demographic
Which was
increased
kinda wild.
their voting.
That was
The only demographic that voted less for Trump than last time is white people, white men.
Yeah.
So and then shortly after that, I also saw some statistics about what like Fox News viewers value. They're like, we ain't tripping about abortion like that, but these medical bills though, right? Like these student loans though. So like these values are starting to become
more socialist.
Exactly. The lines are becoming muddied, and what I think is going to happen is going to be a reverse because look at what's happening on the Democratic Party, the left. You can't say everything. You can't say what you want if you're going to offend people.
True.
It's going to be certain people that are going to be protected, uplifted, and also certain people that are not. We talked about identity politics on OTC, but respectability politics is another concept that I think is actually relevant for this transition that I'm talking about.
You want to give us a definition of respectability?
Respectability politics is the definition that I gave of identity politics last week. So respectability politics basically is choosing people as representatives or just the system of politics based on individual respectable identities. So like making sure that folks don't have criminal histories or aren't into any weird sex shit or anything like that.
Which never really seems to work out because that always comes to the light for some reason.
And it usually backfires most on people who are what? Conservative, because they try to act like that shit ain't a thing.
That's true.
And so that's what I think is weird about the Democratic Party. And what's happening with them right now is I think that this shit is about to start flipping on them. All of this shit that they say you can't do, can't say, right? That's offensive and all of this. These are the same people doing that shit behind closed doors. And so when the tides turn and the cameras get in their face for their transgressions, then it's going to become they're going to be viewed as the conservative, right? Like having the conservative opinion. So I'm just saying I can see this. What I see right now is kind of the beginning of the transition of these political parties switching. Now, what's important about this is there's two ways that this can go. It can go just like how it went in Lincoln's time where the parties just switch, or it's an opportunity for us to get rid of just having two parties. Maybe we can expand and have more parties. Maybe we can have better representation. Maybe there's a redesign of our political structure that can potentially happen over the next few years. I'm talking about, right? Like the next 5 to 10 years is what I'm talking about. But this I see as a moment that begins that transition.
What do you think it'll take for that third party to like gain some kind of credence amongst Americans where like it's an option? Because like I always pick a third party when I vote, especially for presidential situations. So like, whenever I talk to other people, their first thing is like, especially the last two elections, they're like, I don't really like either one of these choices, but if I vote this third party, they're not really going to win. It's like, and everyone has that same mindset. That third party is never going to get that vote because everybody just assumes because they they think if they vote for that person, it's not going to mean anything. But it's also crazy because those are the same people that tell you every vote counts, and they'll vote for a Democrat or a Republican. And it's very frustrating for me sometimes when I deal with people because they're like, they think they don't have any other options, and that's only because they've limited themselves to these two options.
Yeah. All right. So this is where I'm gonna give out some free game.
Uh-oh.
Okay. This is my line of work, in a lot of ways, and definitely figuring out political strategy to a certain extent. Okay. Now, what I'm about to say, I cannot say at work because it's not leaning any type of way. What I'm about to say is for wins. It's for W's. Okay. So this is a nonpartisan strategy playbook coming your way. All right. The first thing is, the first thing I think wait, what was the last thing you said? No, because there was a certain point that you made that I wanted to.
I was saying that because people, when it comes to voting in the booth, they think that their vote won't count if they vote for this third party because they don't think they're going to make any kind of reasonable impact. So because of that, they tend to just vote Democrat or Republican. And I said those same people tend to be the same people that tell me their every vote counts. And that's why they end up voting for Republican or Democrat. And when you say that, I'm like, if you think every vote counts, why don't you vote for this third party person? And they never really have an answer for that. It's like, oh, they're not going to win anyway, so why waste my vote?
If I am the Democratic Party, my strategy shifts to the primaries.
Okay.
And I put a lot of my energy into running competitive primary races. The reason why I do that is because nobody votes in the primaries.
True.
There's no energy in the primaries. When people say your vote counts, they mean it counts in the primaries. That's what they're talking about.
All right.
And so the primaries is the opportunity on the Democratic Party side is the opportunity to actually figure out the candidate that your base is going to be energized behind. The primaries, I think traditionally up until this point, what we've seen, and especially over the last 2 years, it's basically just a battlegrounds. It's like who's going to survive to this? Who's going to be able to raise the most money? Whose PR team is going to be able to handle the most? Like who's going to be able to handle press and money and not saying no stupid shit across the country? That's what the primaries are basically about, right? That's where every candidate is telling you exactly what you want to hear as a member of their base. They're not even talking to nobody that's not a Democrat, right? They're talking to their base, especially being an identity-laden group. Like that's what they focus on and trying to be representative. They need to switch their focus to the primaries. And what they'll get out of the primaries is data collection. They'll figure out all the demographics that they need to not just get somebody to vote, but what you want to aim for as the Democratic Party at this point is energizing people. It's not enough to just have a voter base. Your get out the vote efforts are not enough. You need energy. You need people that's going to go get other people. You need Democratic evangelists. You need people who are going to go out talking about this shit.
Yeah.
That's what you need to do on that side. On the Republican side, what you have to do is shut the fuck up. That's all you have to do on the Republican side. What you do, if I was the Republicans, what I do is I start having all of these town halls in the hood. That's what and primary time. I'm talking about the same timeline.
Those are gonna get contentious.
I don't think they will, because all you have to do is let people talk.
Remember, old girl? It was a viral clip a couple weeks ago where she was snapping like on those the council.
Yeah, the city council.
Yeah,
Don't let it be organized by city council.
because I feel like shit like that.
What you do is you don't even have to let the whoever is organizing the event, they don't even have to be like loud Republicans or loud loud on the right. All they have to do is create a platform for people to be able to express their grievances.
You think people will show up?
Maybe.
For like if they know the person's Republican?
That's what I'm saying. You don't have to make that a thing.
You like
Create
just talk to a congressman, da da da.
Not even.
Or
I would create like a community roundtable or a town hall. Right now, traditionally, these town halls are put on by the city council or by a candidate, right? But what I would do is I would create it as a neighborhood thing. So, like, this don't have nothing to do with politicians. This don't have nothing to do with representatives or none of that.
Better?
What do we, as the members of this neighborhood, want? What are our priorities? What are we concerned about? And I would do a series of those across the hood.
Okay.
And then what I would do is I would take all of those priorities and I would figure out how to market them in a Republican way. Because what's going to happen is they're going to hear a bunch of Democratic talking points.
Yeah.
But what they need to do is figure out how to repackage those to their talking points and still appeal to those same people. So, for example, really great example, if I'm the Republicans, you know the first thing that I do right now?
Call Kanye West.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
I'm passing a bill through the Senate that eliminates student debt immediately.
But that doesn't fall in line with the Republican values.
Check
right?
this out, though.
Okay.
First 100 hours of Joe Biden's presidency, I'm pushing that through the Senate. And I'm going to tell everybody, hey, as the Senate, as the GOP, hey, we have this student debt cancellation bill on the table. It's on Biden's desk President Biden's desk right now. He's been put the pressure on him. But you know what I also do that I don't say publicly? I put a whole bunch of Republican priorities attached to that bill and force them to decline it. So that what do you get to say? Joe Biden ran on the promise of eliminating student debt. The Republican Party presented a bill that would do just that. And what did they do? They reneged on their promise in the first 100 hours of being president. This is what we're up against.
And Joe,
I do that immediately.
And if Joe Biden was more like Trump, he'd be like, that was trash.
Yeah.
Like Joe Biden's going to try to be more PC. Like, well, there was a lot of, what do they call, fat on the bill or whatever. Or
oh, you mean like the 94 crime bill?
Yeah, so like.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm talking about, I'm not giving him 100 days. Yeah. I'm talking about immediately.
Hours.
I'm talking about the first thing that comes across his desk is a motherfucking student debt cancellation bill. Immediately off rip. That's the first thing I'm saying. And make it come out the Senate because they're running it. They're controlling it. The House will never approve that shit if they attach the right things to it that they want.
Yeah.
And then if they do accept it, then you getting shit that you want out of it anyway. I don't know.
That's true.
That's
a good strategy.
That's what I would do. I would do that shit. I would already have my motherfuckers writing that shit right now.
My motherfuckers.
Because on January 20th, I need that email to go out, bro. I need that. I need that shit. I need that vote. I need that vote to happen. Yeah. That's the first thing that I would do. And all of this, by the way, has nothing to do with actually leading this country. I just want that to be another point that we make. None of this has anything to do with leading the country in the direction that it's supposed to go. What it does have to do with is empowering the people of this country with understanding how it works and using the systems that govern us for our benefit. Yeah. That's what it's about. Because believe it or not, these political parties actually are here to serve us, right? They have to rebrand based on our needs. Like, let's not Like, let's not forget that.
Yeah.
That's something that's very, very important. They need to rebrand. We are the CEOs. They are the marketing team. That's really how this should go. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's my my political topics for the week. Actually, one more kind of semi-political topic.
this brother here.
Coronavirus is on the rise, bro. Coronavirus is on the rise. This week, Mayor Mo put out some new regulations. We basically are going back into shutdown in Chicago. I think starting Monday.
Yeah.
But it's like,
It's not the same as it was before, though. It feels like it's a light version of it. 'Cause
yeah,
there's still like,
that's where we're gonna start. But we're gonna
I know,
actually get locked
yeah.
down again. But it's so interesting to me because this shit doesn't make any sense. And I hate to be one of these because I'm not one of these coronavirus conspiracy people, right? Like I
you
do
sure?
think, yeah, I'm positive. I do think that there's a virus that's going around that's fucking people up. I truly believe that. I truly, truly do. I don't think that it has the catastrophic impact that I think that we're doing. The world is doing its due diligence to try to prevent. I just don't think it's that bad, and I think that we're doing extra to make sure that it doesn't get that bad. And I'm not mad at that. I'm perfectly okay with that. But I do think that if you're gonna say that the coronavirus is dangerous and that you need to wear a mask and that indoor dining is banned, then you can't put a tent up and ask people to eat outside in the tent and say we have outdoor dining and this is gonna help the coronavirus. Like, for that to be allowed,
yeah.
and then also the concerns we have about those, I'm just a common sense type person. That don't make no sense. You cannot tell me that me sitting inside of Gibson's versus outside of Gibson's in a tent is going to change my chances of getting the coronavirus.
Yeah,
That shit just don't make no sense. That period.
Oh,
A lot of what I've been hearing is they have those type of regulations simply just not to get sued, right? Just to cover their asses to say, oh, we had a social distance regulation.
Yeah.
But like, it's also just, it can't be scientifically pure.
Yeah, it's not based on science. I was talking to someone the other day, and I was talking about like compromise. I was a gray area. I was like, there's always a gray area, and like to me, this is the gray area of like we want these places to be able to still have business and make money, but at the same time, we don't want it to be like the Wild Wild West where COVID ends up running rampant because nobody's wearing masks and these things. So like, because they know businesses are going to complain because they're going to not have any money coming in.
Right.
A lot of places just might not work for takeout, like Gibson's, like steak.
It's hard to do.
Yeah, So like, I think this is the compromise for that. Like the mayor listening to what people want as far as wanting to be able to go out still and dine, and also trying to be safe. Because like it doesn't make much sense. Like the one before they decided to shut shit down again, where like you have to put your mask on when your server comes to the table, but you can take it off when they leave. That shit is kind of silly. So yeah, I just think this is a compromise, and it is never going to make sense because you're trying to appease too many people. What they should do is just give people credits or money. That way, don't have these dumbass compromises.
You could literally shut the country down if you're gonna pay people.
Just do what Canada did.
Just
Pay people mortgage forgiveness, rent, forgiveness or whatever, and let people sit the fuck down for a couple weeks where they don't have to like go to work or stress these things out. So people aren't willing going out there to risk their lives.
I've been thinking a lot about the concept of choices lately.
Everybody got choices.
Yeah, and trying to figure out the role that circumstances and choices play in the conditions of our people.
Mm-hmm.
And like trying to just build that out and scale that concept out to like the country, and feeling like there always is going to be a consequence to your choice, and just really the the decision you're making ain't about the decision. It's about the consequences that you're choosing.
Yeah.
And I think that for whatever reason in America, the consequence of losing money is akin to death. Like, people be scared of losing some bread or like not having more.
Good old American greed.
That's exactly it. Because we simply, very quickly, what is it? One of these coronavirus task force people that Biden just appointed said 4 to 6 weeks, if we lock down, we good. Like, we Gucci. 6 weeks, we literally are right back to normal.
Wow.
Do you know how much cheaper it would have been to give people a 6-week check versus a year-long check?
Yeah.
Like, but we were scared of that short-term impact of having to pay, what, $1 trillion or so?
Yeah.
To everybody. Like, the choices that we make to deal with the consequences is what is perturbing, because those decisions are being made based on who can handle it. And for the bulk of people, for the bulk of Americans, the decision that was made is not helpful to us. It's not the best thing for us as individuals. It's maybe the best thing for the largest money generators in this country.
Yeah.
Maybe if the goal is to continue to make sure that those entities are thriving and can sustain themselves and continue to provide the products and services that make the America what it is, if that's what the priority is, then okay, understood why you would build them out. I get it. But I think that more and more people are saying, well, wait a minute. Because, I could go without that corporation. I need my crib, though. You know what I mean? And especially even more so as more and more people are becoming entrepreneurs themselves and becoming business owners themselves. They're like, hold the fuck on, fam. You know what I mean? Like, I could also provide that very same service, but I'm a small mom and pop shop that's not going to get the same benefits that a corporation, large organization might get.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, that the coronavirus being on the rise, I think highlights more than just this conflict of like science versus, I don't even know what science is up against right now, but
Science is up against people that don't believe in science.
yeah, but what is that? Religion?
Nah, it's not even necessarily religion. It's just people that are ignorant and not educated on how science works.
But how do you not believe in science though? We need someone that doesn't believe in science to explain that to me. Because what happens when you heat water? It boils and then it evaporates. What do you call that?
People don't believe in science when it opposes their views.
I feel you on that.
It's not that they don't believe it, because they believe everything else. Like,
They believe in gravity.
right, when it comes to driving that car, they understand that science has built that car, engineering has built that car. But it comes to like climate change or diseases, like there's been I feel like, I don't know who's orchestrated this campaign, but it's been a campaign orchestrated on like not believing in the truth and kind of creating your own truth based on how you feel and what you believe in. There's no more like people referring to not even to scientists, but professionals, people that have studied these things and realizing that their views isn't their opinion, it's based on facts. People see it as their opinion, and that has created like a culture of ignorance, because now nobody believes the professionals anymore.
Yeah, everybody got an opinion.
And they think their opinion is right.
There's nothing wrong with thinking your opinion is right. But to behave as your opinion is right is a whole nother thing. You should be confident in your opinion, but you should be just as confident in changing it, modifying it, adjusting it, and growing it. Like, you should have that same fever or fervor to
Corona.
right, to challenge that, right? The same way that you're willing to defend it, you should have the same gusto to challenge it and break it down, because that's only going to sharpen it. Only makes it better, or changes your mind for the better.
Yeah. I feel like your opinion should be based on the most recent and widely accepted information.
There was there was a Instagram bio quote that I was trying to come up with that somewhere in some draft somewhere that might end up being like a poem somewhere. But like it says,
post something on Instagram.
this was a bio. This is different than a post. But it says,
We're still waiting for our voter selection choice.
damn. The election is over. But it says, don't let your experiences be the scope of your expertise, right? And I think that that's something that I don't know if it's this generation or if it's just these radical lefties that I found myself associated with a lot over the past few years. I don't know what it is, but for whatever reason, folks feel like their experience is the only thing that matters, and that their experience is the world's reality. And it's fucked up because the same way that they make that argument is the same way that they dismiss other people's experiences. And that's so wild to me. While making the case for your experience to be acknowledged and, like, you know what I'm saying, acknowledged and catered to or whatever.
Yeah.
What I feel like is missed in that process is, in order to do that, you have to do the same thing that's done to you to other people. And that's how capitalism works. That's why someone is always going to be exploited.
Yeah.
Whether somebody's always going to be exploited within that system. And I feel like that's what happens in these like civil liberties fights, where people are fighting for their identities and like just to be heard, just to be safe, just to be themselves at the end of the day. Right. But they end up taking on this kind of super villain type thing where it's like their actual intentions are actually pure and good. It make a lot of sense. And everybody low key would agree with them. But then you start doing things that turn certain people off or create enemies or just, manifest opposition for what? For why? For no reason, really. I don't know. That's the thing. I think I talked about this in one, I can't even remember what episode, but it's a pendulum.
Yeah.
Shit's gonna go
That's
too
the name
far.
of the episode.
Yeah, it's just gonna go too far one way. It's gonna go too far the other way. But at some point, somewhere in the middle, shit starts making sense. Hopefully, that's the intention. All right.
Man, let's get into some fuckery, man. That was 45 minutes on politics.
Or real shit. I want to get into your. No. Before we get into this, because that's gonna transition us into music. We gotta talk about. We have to talk about something that's very, very important. As consumers, I think that consumer protections are very important. And in this day and age of digital scams and bait and switch and, all of these different things, I think this is a topic that's very, very, very important for a lot of different reasons. For the consumer, but also for the provider of the service. And what I'm talking about right now is OnlyFans pricing. Now, I think, who was it? Chris Brown this week got an OnlyFans. I think Amber Rose recently, like in the last
few weeks,
recently has gotten the OnlyFans. There's a few kind of celebrity folks that have OnlyFans. Beyonce mentioned in a record that I think it was the Savage remix that she might do an OnlyFans.
She's definitely not doing an OnlyFans.
She definitely is not. But the reason why I'm naming these names,
getting them doing shit she won't do.
Yeah, the reason why I'm naming Cardi B has an OnlyFans. The reason why I'm naming, but she doesn't do sexual shit on.
Of course not.
But what my point is, the reason why I named those names is because I feel like when you have established a brand, right? Then you can charge a certain amount strictly based on the brand, right? Like you don't even, like Cardi B, for example, ex-stripper, there's the potential to see some titties, right?
We don't know that.
Yes, you do. There's
Nobody
always a
thinks
potential to see that with Cardi. It
She's
might
a
be
married woman. She ain't showing her titties on purpose.
Are you kidding me? She put them on Instagram the other day. What are you talking about?
That wasn't on purpose.
That's debatable. But my point is, she's not shy about showing her body, is what I'm saying. So, like, being on OnlyFans ain't the wildest thing for Cardi to do. But also, she's not using her OnlyFans for that purpose. She's doing other shit on her OnlyFans, releasing other kind of content on there, right? But the point I'm trying to make is, because she's Cardi B, she can charge what she wants for her OnlyFans, regardless of what she's doing on there. Right? Somebody like a Chris Brown can charge what the fuck he wants for his OnlyFans. You know what I'm saying?
I saw the Chris Brown one. I saw some of the comments women were making. One of the ones that I thought was funny was it was a girl. She was like, "Are you gonna show some dick or something, or are you gonna be like doing art and shit?"
I saw somebody say, "Are you doing pop lock tutorials?" Oh shit! But that's my point is, they can sell whatever they want to. They got a brand.
Yeah.
They have a fan base. They can establish whatever they want. Within the last hour, I've come across an OnlyFans as we were looking for. Anyway, I came across an OnlyFans that is charging more money than Amber Rose is charging for her monthly subscription. Now, this person, I mean, you can't see OnlyFans followers. So I don't know how popular they are on OnlyFans.
Right.
I don't know how they giving it up on OnlyFans. They may be doing some of the greatest shit ever. I don't know their stats. I don't know what percentage of performers they in or earn. I don't know none of that.
Yeah.
But I do know that they're charging more money than Amber Rose. And they just don't have, they're just not Amber Rose. So this just made me get to thinking of, how do folks price their OnlyFans? How do you value yourself? So when you devalue yourself to be naked on OnlyFans, how do you value yourself in terms of your content?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I just feel like it, from the prices I've seen from the people that are having these prices, and I just don't think those people understand like marketing.
I think
because like a lot of the, I feel like what OnlyFans has turned into, specifically during this pandemic, is how to get a quick come up, right? Whereas before, I feel like there were people that were actually making a living off of it and doing consistent content. Now it seems like it's people that are trying to get like a quick burst of money. Like, yeah, the old chick, old girl that's the actress, they got like a couple million for creating her OnlyFans. Then you had Ruby Rose that did the thing where she got like 100K in a couple days, creating her I cannot say this OnlyFans. So like,
Akash call it the only news.
so like, I think people are seeing this as more as a come up and a hustle, as opposed to like people, a year and a half ago looking at it more as a lucrative job. So like the pricing is like, so their pricing is fucking up the game, because they're just flooding the market with these ridiculous prices because they're trying to get a quick come up. Whereas I think if you realize that you're going to be more consistent, you want to create a fan base, and and the bigger your fan base, the less you can charge to make a nice amount of money, right? Mm-hmm. So like, I think that's what has happened. People are just like kind of fucking up the game with these crazy prices because they want a quick come up.
All right, so here would be my question then, is how do you see this fame loop working then? Because I think that a lot of people hop on the OnlyFans train to kind of build up their notoriety, to finesse it into other things and monetize on other things, right? In the past, that trajectory has looked like be a bottle girl or be a stripper, become a bottle girl, become a model, start a rap career. You know what I mean? Like it follows that. So my question is, today, how does it go? Does you get your OnlyFans, then what? Right? Like you're not gonna be a video girl.
Yeah.
Like you're not gonna get a rap career off your OnlyFans. You might get a porn career if you lit like that. But like, what's the finesse? Like, what's the next move? Especially if you're saying that this is a money grab. Like, this is not necessarily a long term, you know what I'm saying, thing, what's the finesse? How do you finesse this? Where does it go from here?
That's the thing. Like when it's a money grab, people don't think like next steps are long term. Like if it's a smash and grab robbery, you just running in and taking shit out. You don't think how much money is in there, how many cameras are in there, how could I get caught? You're just doing some shit to make some money fast and not really thinking about how that will work out in the future. That's why I feel like there are some younger people that are being influenced by people that are a few years older than them, or they're like putting out this content and not realizing that how it could come back to bite them in the past, because we live in a culture where like these things are more normalized, but that's now. Like we're like, oh yeah, you know, women's rights, women empowerment, I'm all for that, but like these things can come back to bite you in the past, or it could be where everybody has one and it's a normal thing. Mm-hmm. So, but who knows how that is going to play out?
Is that different though? Is it different now because of social media? Because I feel like that's kind of the thing. That's always been the thing. But the big difference to me is, so like you've always been around folks that's older than you doing some shit you never you wasn't supposed to be doing, but there was no real penalty for that shit. Mm-hmm. Besides, like you might get, you know, caught up in some shit and like, but you have the opportunity to learn from that. In today's day and age, while those same opportunities are presented, we just don't have the grace to grow and learn and develop from those situations. So that's where I think what you're saying becomes a lot, like, it becomes scary because, you know, young people do dumb shit that you shouldn't be doing and that could potentially fuck you up for the rest of your life. But you're young and you're allowed to make young, dumb mistakes. Nowadays with the internet, though, you're not allowed to grow. You're not allowed to be a better person. You're not allowed to do some dumb shit and then critique it yourself later on.
I mean, you are.
Because it's hypocritical now.
But you just got to stop doing your dumb shit on the internet.
I don't know if you really are, though, honestly. Like, so, for example, a really, really excellent example, Jesse Jackson. Mm-hmm. Okay? Jesse Jackson is a freedom fighter. Undeniable. He's been fighting for civil rights since my mama could remember. Goddamn. Right? Mm-hmm. There's a lot of criticism on him in a lot of these woke circles because of his behavior, how he acts, the era he comes from, just a lot of that, right? But at the end of the day, he's also still on the front lines, and his opinions today aren't necessarily the same as in the fucking 60s, right? But what happens is there's a segment of people who will just not accept anything that he says, and actually anything he's associated with, they see as fool shit simply off of their perception of what he thought, said, did, behaved in the 60s. Mm-hmm. There's no consideration for how he feels now. There's no consideration for his own critiques of his behavior then. There's no consideration for his growth or even what his viewpoint and standpoints are today, right? Yeah. And I feel like that is emblematic of how we treat people, period, today. Okay. Like, I feel like if there's a young person who did some dumb shit and grows and becomes a more mature person, then I feel like in today's age, that maturity and that growth is not highlighted. What's going to be highlighted is the quote-unquote hypocrisy of what you're saying now versus what you said when you were getting on, right, or when people were first getting to know you. So there's a lack of appreciation for growth, I think, on a big scale. That's what I'm talking about. And I think that is going to discourage people from having authentic opinions and feeling like they're being authentic. I feel like people are just going to be saying shit that they think other people want to hear. And that shit is going to continue for a long time if people aren't allowed to feel secure in growing and changing and maturing and all of these different things.
Well, yeah, it's never going to change. I'm fine with that because, like, people that are willing to fall in line with the traditional or popular views at the time probably don't have much to say anyways.
Yeah. At what point in human history are we going to learn that the people who do shit differently and weird are the ones we should listen to? Like, we just going to keep excoriating these motherfuckers forever. Like, we just going to keep we never going to learn that those are the people that make shit's better for us as human beings. I don't know. Moral of the story, some of you hoes are charging too much for your OnlyFans. That's the moral of the story.
2021, I was told recently that Troy is going to have business opportunities for you to help you get your OnlyFans up and popping.
Yeah, there's
Holla at
there's
your boy.
yeah, we can do. There's a lot. There's a lot. The business inquiries page is coming soon.
It's all about the toe picks.
Right. Toe picks, not
3
feet
weeks
picks.
in a row.
Toe picks.
3 weeks in a row.
All right, let's get
go.
into this. Let's get into this conspiracy theory that you have, man,
Got me
or that
tired
you
now,
heard about.
All right. So like most Americans, I got my information from YouTube about this conspiracy.
Yeah, that's the news.
So I just randomly saw like this almost 20-minute video about how Tory Lanez was set up and framed. So,
Oh boy.
like, I think the conspiracy borderlines on ridiculous, but also has some proof, like most conspiracy theories, right?
Okay.
There's always a tinge of truth to it, right? So, essentially, I'm going to try to abbreviate the conspiracy theory. Tory Lanez was signed to Interscope Records at one point, right?
Okay.
Recently, I believe this year sometime, Tory Lanez said that he was now independent and owned all of his music going forward. And he had his own team that would put out the music, help, shoot the videos, all these things.
Right.
He was no longer reliant on the record label.
Right.
And because of this, he, before this happened, and I think the reason why he went independent is because he was having some issues with Interscope as far as him not being able to put music out what he wanted to. There was a rumor that he wanted to just do a rap album. They wouldn't do it. They're like, nah, you're a singer, you sing. And so, like, when he wanted to do
Sing,
that,
nigga.
that's when he had to, when he was talking about, nobody can't fuck with me in rap, and he had the diss tracks back and forth with Don Q and old girl, I can't remember her name, and Lucas Joyner.
Cash Doll.
Nah, it's another doll, Asian doll. It's another doll. It's not Cash.
Was
doll.
it Asian Doll?
It's one of them dolls, dog.
Ain't that Von's ex?
You asking me too many questions. So like around that time when he wanted to do a rap album, they told him no. That's when he felt like he needed to prove himself. So that's when he started doing the rap battles or the rap beefs, And then around Chicks Tape 5, he kind of basically paid for that with his own money because the record label didn't want to clear any samples or they didn't want to pay him back. So because of those experiences, he realized that he wanted to be an independent artist. So he decided to go indie, and Atlantic didn't like that. So the conspiracy part that kicks in is because Atlantic didn't like that, they wanted to bring him down because he kind of like tried to outshine the master. If you ever read the 48 Laws of Power, which is something you never do, because he did that, they decided, they're like, well, we can't have other people seeing him do this, being successful and independent. We're going to make an example out of him. And they decided to make an example out of him by influencing Meg Thee Stallion, not necessarily creating a situation where she received harm, but kind of manipulating her into doing things that would make him look bad under the light. And I think that's why he was not pretty much coming out and saying that he didn't shoot her, but like he was alluding that he didn't do these things and things didn't necessarily happen the way she said. So Meg Thee Stallion, because he was like, he believes that outside sources like Roc Nation and Jay-Z have played a role in kind of convincing Meg Thee Stallion to make Tory look like the bad guy, and that he was purposely trying to attack her instead of more making it look like an accident, which I think Tory was kind of alluding to it being. So that is the conspiracy. What do you think about that?
I think it's I feel a way about this conspiracy because I think that it's a little bit dangerous to create these opponent narratives against black men and their success to explain away controversies and potential fuck shit that they did.
Yep.
Because I feel like it eludes accountability. Niggas tried to do the same shit when Cosby got caught up and it was like, oh, he was trying to buy NBC. It's like,
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah,
okay,
$1 billion.
yeah, but to me, those are dangerous narratives to explain away the fuck shit
Right.
by saying that somebody else is responsible and trying to frame them. With that being said, I do find it very, very interesting that this whole Tory Lanez and Meg Thee Stallion situation has not gone the way that you think it would go if Tory Lanez shot Meg Thee Stallion.
That's
Okay,
true. Yeah.
so that just makes this whole thing a little bit
Isn't
more
the court date
complicated.
coming up soon, or is that
Yeah,
like
this
next
will be the
year's?
second one, I think, because they already had
okay.
one that got pushed back.
Ah,
So yeah, that's what makes this complicated to me. The interesting thing about the conspiracy and the aspect that I think is most interesting is what the fuck did y'all think Rock Nation and Meg's camp was gonna do? Right? Like, of course they're gonna try to make sure that their client is sitting in the best light, because I'm pretty sure there was some fuck shit that went on that night that everybody is responsible for. And in order for I'm just talking about from a PR team, a management team perspective, you have to protect your client. You got to do, fuck that nigga Tory. He ain't signed to us. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't have no allegiances to him or his celebrity. So, like, we're going to protect our client. So I'm not mad at Rock Nation or Meg or her team for any of that, even if they are lying, right? Like, that's how you supposed to protect your client. I just don't think what's interesting about this situation to me is kind of, this is disgusting, but kind of what Tori was saying. When did this shit go left? What happened to make this shit go left? Because when it first happened, there was no problem.
yeah.
Everybody was cool.
That's
It was
where
fine.
Conspiracy theory would say Rock Nation stepped in or Interscope stepped in. They realized this can be used to bring about its downfall.
So it makes more sense to me for Interscope and Atlantic than it does for Rock Nation.
Why?
Because for Interscope and Atlantic, there's a direct vengeance towards Tory that you can find as a motive. For Rock Nation, they're just protecting Meg. And if Meg wasn't in the situation, there would be nobody to throw under the bus or anybody that they felt like they had to throw under the bus to protect her.
I guess.
Because they could have supported the original story too. And that could have just been the story if everybody was fine. But something happened.
Right. But
That's what I'm saying. Something happened for these allegiances and these relationships to be broken.
To argue for the conspiracy theory, I think maybe not most people, but people know that the music industry is very incestuous, where like people they'll work for all the labels. People are familiar with each other. People will work with each other often. So there's already like some kind of camaraderie amongst like record execs and higher ups from these different labels. So as far as like, you know, this could be your homie at Atlantic and you cool with the guy at Interscope or whatever,
Right.
Jimmy Iovine and whoever, right?
Then you in a conference call with Tata.
Yeah. You're like, it hurt if you're Atlantic Records or Rock Nation. You're like, well, okay, how can we both use this to benefit us?
Right.
Like, you want to bring Tory Lanez down. We don't really want to reveal what happened with Meg Thee Stallion, or we want to make her look the best in this situation. How can we both use this to our advantage?
And I feel like that's where, you know, that right there, that conversation right there is the conversation that puts black people at a disadvantage traditionally, because that Rock Nation was another white organization. The tides are different now because that's a black that's a black company.
Yeah.
And so they have to decide. Basically, they have to decide how they want to handle this situation. And what they decided was to protect a black woman in this situation, who also happens to be their client. But, you know,
They happen to protect a black woman, or did the woman they were protecting happen to be black?
I think their client happened to be a black woman.
Okay.
That's what I think happened. I think if it was a white male, they would have figured out a way to lean into, You know what I'm saying? Prejudice against white people, white men. Like, I felt like they would have figured that out, a way to do that. I think it's more so based on the client, and then secondarily is, all right, well, how do we lean into who our client is and what their identity to further protect them? I think that's pretty much how that goes. I also have noticed that Tory Lanez has been very, very active.
Very.
Very, very active, putting out music, putting out videos, just doing a bunch of shit. He's
Didn't he just put out a project with Kodak Black, or is one coming out?
no, he just got a song on Kodak's project.
I thought they had a album.
It's just a song.
Are you sure?
I'll double check because I thought the same thing.
Okay.
I double checked. I thought because Tory Lanez posted something about Kodak. He made a post about Kodak. But if you looked at it, the post was his track listing for this Billy, whatever his fucking Kodak project is. And he is on one of the tracks.
Gotcha.
Yep. This is a good transition into some of the music that came out this week that neither one of us have listened to yet.
I listened to one.
I did too. I listened to The Future and Lil Uzi one time.
Yeah.
I have to listen to it again. I was not in the right environment to be listening to that. First of all, quarantine. Second of all, not on tour. Right? Like, there's just so many things wrong with listening to this. I do know. I'm surprised that this is not one that they didn't actually hold on to until they could actually tour. Because Future and Lil Uzi, that's gonna sell out everywhere.
Yeah.
That's gonna, you know what I'm saying? That's gonna be a fucking vibe.
How did this come out before the Drake and Future album?
I think the Drake and Future album was not a Drake and Future album.
Okay.
I think they had some songs.
That's it.
I think those, and low key, I think a lot of them songs was probably just extra songs from the first mixtape they did.
I think so.
Yep. Because you gotta remember, both of them were when Tootsie Slide and then all of those like Drake and Future features started coming out. That was I feel like those were post rollouts for both of their shits. Those are like momentum carrier songs, right? Like, because Future put out a solo project right after that, and then Loverboy has been teased since then. We thought that Loverboy might have been just him and Future's joint album for a little while.
Okay.
I feel like that was just momentum shit, just to keep their names out.
Okay.
On the first listen, though, the Future and Lil Uzi shit sounds like Future and Lil Uzi. Like I said, we recording this on Saturday, so I didn't really get into my normal bag. I know Goody Mob got something now. I know K Camp got something now. Black Youngster got something now.
Danny Lee.
I for sure have to check that out. 2 Chainz, Masego. These are
slow down. I listened to the 2 Chainz album about 4 times already.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And you hated the LeBron's album.
I don't know if I hated it.
No, you hated it. No, I'm pretty sure you shat on it, if I remember correctly.
Just spreading rumors. It's fake news.
Fake news.
Fake news.
What's your standout track
on the 2 Chainz album? There's a song with him and Ross I really like.
YRB.
Like, yeah. It's also a song with Kevin Gates. I think it's called Ziploc that I really fuck with. So with the 2 Chainz album, basically the first 7 songs I don't really care for.
Which is wild because I'm looking at that's where all of the features are.
Yeah. Exactly.
And these features look like good ass fucking features for 2 Chainz.
I like 2 of the 7. It's the Kevin Gates and the Brent Faiyaz and Kanye song.
Okay.
Like the Brent Faiyaz and Kanye song is good, but it's not great.
Okay.
I feel like he was putting all the singles are like on that first few 7 songs.
Okay.
Because it's like a song where you know they're going to be playing it at HBCUs because it's basically made for them.
Okay. Oh, the Moneymaker joint with Lil Wayne. Yeah.
Couple singles. The
Quarantine Thick
Mulatto.
Just Bills.
That song is terrible to me.
Really?
But I could see how situationally based it would be good. Like I could see it being an anthem for quarantine, right? Because we're about to go into the second wave. But that second half, I feel like the songs got more soulful as far as the samples and production, and he started spitting more. Like usually, 2 Chainz is like funny, like
True,
intentionally and unintentionally in his raps. Where I feel like that latter half got more. He was just like bar for bar spitting, kind of I guess what he was supposed to be doing on the last LeBron on that album. LeBron executive produced, whatever
LeBron album,
the LeBron album. And like he had a Lamborghini on wrist song was terrible to me.
Lambo wrist.
But yeah,
The Can't Go For That.
that is
Lil
Lil
Duval
Wayne.
song?
That song is terrible.
Really?
Yeah, I don't
Because
like it.
that's the song that Duval always posts on the second
Yeah,
half of his.
yeah,
I
I
can't
know.
go for that.
No
Can do. That's my shit. I fuck
Yeah,
with that song.
that's why that's another song where I think like he was kind of trying to pander a little bit as far as like, yeah. But that second half he was spitting. I really fuck with that second half. It's good.
All right, I'm gonna go check that out. I fuck with 2 Chainz. I fucked with the LeBron album just because I felt like it was new, it was different. Obviously, executive produced by LeBron, but it also felt like if that was some shit that came out when I was a young high school athlete with like college and professional aspirations, that would have 1,000% been my soundtrack. You know what I mean? Like, so that was dope. Then he put out like a joint project with a bunch of people that he signed right before that. Or no, I'm sorry, right after that. And then before that was Pretty Girls Like Trap Music, which was
That
great.
was a good album.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah.
He doesn't make bad albums.
He doesn't. He definitely doesn't.
Right.
You want to get into songs of the week?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to play my song of the week. It's called Lions, Bengals, and Bears. It's a freestyle from Wale and DJ Money.
Circumstances, I know my fate, but in this
Jasmine
love thing,
song.
don't get the game. Why does it feel like those who give in, they only wind up losing a friend? Just 'cause I love you and you love me, it doesn't mean that we're meant to be. I can climb a mountain, cross the seas, but the most
Moolah,
frightening
let go.
thing is
Lions, Bengals, and Bears, none of my guys scared. Chase rumbling, any one of them guys there. Wayne Young and he hungry. I pray we patient with him. I pray he leave with some money. I pray he leave with his health. Yeah, the physical and mental. The thing I like about football is that stats kill opinions. This rap shit, I lick the niggas. I ain't about to knock it. This whole summer I was buying all the winter Prada. And I tried being peaceful, but my peace was getting bothered. So no doubt we got them Eagles. We go Carson Wentz, Stephani. Niggas say what's up with me, then they say what's up to me. They say I be lonely, but this weapon keep me company. Niggas think it's up with me, y'all don't want no problem, bruh. Niggas say it's up with me, well buddy, this insomnia. Yeah, and I'm not passive, but you know I'm not gonna stop. You gotta scramble, right? You ain't got the block. I could probably get you done without a half a thought. But you probably hurt yourself, you niggas guts for rock. Yeah, Olu for Lauren, run it like 2-minute offense. Like Kurt Warner, I'm Marshall Falk, I'm a fucking problem. You niggas playing both sides, but I am in my prime. I high step, if I pick 6, it ain't 49. It's 60, nigga. See these women with us? Some gon' play with they nose like they hitting us, you know? Look, that's all I gotta say. Young for Lawrence, young Peyton, money's Jeff Saturday. Omaha, all the bull I'm calling out. All the bills I got is blue. I be digging on my routes. I be stuck up in this condo whole time I got a house. And these bitches get the blitzing while I'm checking bitches down. Checking on some DMs, check they page, she got a spouse, but clout. Lions, Bengals, and Bears. I'm fighting demons and fears. I tighten up when it's time, and Mike Vrabel ain't here. Yeah, I hate a favor when that shit ain't sincere. Some people want you in debt if they can't put you in fear. I bring my Savage out, my Jamal Adams out. Flow is undisputed with my yak and with my black amount. Tell Jason Whitlock he a bitch and he a cracker now. But that's a lot of y'all. Somebody line up the charters doctor for Tyra Thomas. A punctured lung is a lump sum and a lot of lawyers. We got chartered to the game, it's hard to trust the owners. They had their ducks in a row already, ain't no one loyal. How about the Jag in LA, like Jalen Ramsey, you heard? I got these M's on my mind, like it's the thundering herd. It's like I'm humble for real, but y'all kicked off on this wall. Yeah. Now I got the ball. Hold on.
I know my fate, but in this love thing, don't
Yeah, man. That's Wale, Lions, Bengals, and Bears freestyle off the Jasmine Sullivan sample. A couple of things on this, man. Number one, I miss when rappers put out songs of them rapping and not just this, like, you know what I'm saying? The structured song. Like, there was no hook there.
Just bars.
Just bars. I miss that as being part of, like, the rollout. Like as part of, I got bars. Yeah. That's number one. Number two, one of these days, we're going to talk about Wale and Lupe Fiasco being the best rappers of our generation.
Huh.
We're going to talk about that one day.
That is an interesting conversation. I would like to see that versus.
They don't got enough tracks.
Nigga, you wildin'.
I'm talking about versus tracks. I mean, like for the heads, I don't think they do.
For the fans, it'll be like
yeah,
Jeezy.
for the heads, yeah. Shout out to Wale.
Shout out to Wale. For Lauren. This song here is from one of my new favorite whites about one of my new other favorite whites.
There's a lot of white favoritism going on here.
Yeah,
man.
you know what I'm saying?
Biden become president, we like white people again? Is that what it is?
I think that's what it is. That's what motivated me. Even though I heard the song before he became president, I was like, I kind of fuck with this. So this song is from Jack Harlow. And it's called Tyler Hero.
Oh, yeah, this is a banger.
Here we go.
This is a banger.
Yeah. The ones that hate me the most look just like me. You tell me what that means. Make a slick comment and see what that brings. I seen it go down, we can reenact things. Extreme like DMX sing. These boys pussy and they PMS sing. People in the city see the movement occurring and say, my God, I wanna be in that scene. Damn right you wanna be in this scene. She had the video trying to be in this scene. Used to fantasize about being this scene. Bluegrass girl, but she got big dreams. Can't touch me, I got instincts. Locked in the house, but I'm plotting things. I brought a gang to the party with me. 5 white boys, but they not in sync. Fuck what y'all think. Fuck everything that you say about me. My dogs like to play Madden and 2K, but one thing they don't do is play about me. My homeboy Tyler, he playing South Beach. He told me this summer he gon' fix my jumper. I told Boy Wonder that we might got a thumper. I've been trying to pop, now I'm on like Shumpert. Now they on my bumper. Green room chock full of all my comforts. Hotel room like heaven on earth. Got angels in my bed with some all white covers. Ace Pro Nemo, Lucci and Kiso, Sloop Clay Tufo, and I got a few more I call my brothers. I got a lot of flows and they all like butter. Ooh, you know what that means. I came home nice, but I'm going back mean. I'm about to globe trot when they know a vaccine. Motherfuckers act lost, but they know exactly what's going on. Made a meal and I don't know what to blow it on. I tell a critic shut up like my show is on. Give a t-shirt to her, said throw it on. She want a mini high school classmates, I'm growing on. My peers ain't popping, they don't know what's going wrong. Y'all well dressed, but you ain't got soul and you just can't sew it on. I'm trying to tell y'all boys, I got a few songs I can sell y'all boys. I tried it back then, it was hell nah, boy. Now I'm in a box like a Kellogg's toy. The ones that hate me the most look just like me. You tell me what that means. Make a slick comment and see what that brings. I seen it go down, we can reenact things. Extreme like DMX sing. These boys pussy and they PMS sing. People in the city see the movement occurring and say, my God, I wanna be in that scene. Damn right you wanna be in this scene. She had the video trying to be in this scene. Used to fantasize about being this scene. Bluegrass girl, but she got big dreams. Can't touch me, I got instincts. Locked in the house, but I'm plotting things. I brought a gang to the party with me. 5 white boys, but they not in sync. No, they not in sync. No, they not in sync. Word to JT, no, they not in sync. Word to JT, no, they not in sync. No, they not in sync. No, they not in sync.
All right.
Shout out to Jack Harlow. Shout out to Wale. Whale. Florin.
I want to
Ralph.
see them on the song together. I feel like they could spit.
Wale and Jack.
They have a nice hook. Be some bars on there. I can see that.
You know what they need to do? They need to give us access to all of the artists signed to the big labels and let us A&R their projects. That's all they need to do.
They would never do that.
They wouldn't ever do it, but
Too
if
much
they
money at
did,
stake.
do you
That
know how
would be
much
like-
money we would make?
That would be a cool ass like raffle or prize. Like you get to EP like a mixtape for artists. Yeah, that'll be like.
Yeah, you get 1 fiscal year of rollouts to manage.
Nah, this brother wild. I mean, like you can pick an artist or two, and you like pick the features. Like they give you 5 songs, you get a Dat Piff
Nah, that would be cool as fuck. That would be cool as fuck. I'm putting 2 Chainz and Future on a lot of songs together though.
So you just gonna have like a hood trap.
Well, think about
5-song
it.
EP.
Think about it. It's gonna be some singing. It's gonna be some comedy. It's gonna be some songs for girls. It's gonna be some songs for drug dealing.
Damn, nigga,
It's
you
gonna
only
be
got
a-
5 songs.
That's what I'm saying. It's gonna be so comprehensive. It's gonna be perfect.
Mine is gonna be like I'm gonna try to bring back the 90s where like rappers would just hop on R&B songs, not having the R&B artists just sing the hook, but like it would be an R&B song featuring the rappers.
Gotcha. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, I would try to do something like that. Wale would definitely be on there. Ty would definitely be on there.
As the singer or the rapper though.
Don't matter. Might switch it up. Have a nigga sing.
Versatility.
Chris Brown might be rapping. You know what I'm saying?
Oh shit! Have Young Thug singing, Chris Brown rapping?
Exactly.
I like it. I like it a lot. All right, man. I think that's pretty much it. Is there anything else to get to?
Nah, man. Just
Shout out to the YouTube clip page that will be coming soon. Shout out to the over the counter episodes. Shout out to all our listeners. Shout out to our soon to be viewers. You already know what it is. It's the Self Medicated Podcast. I am your host, the Wayfarer, Quentin Quarantino, aka the Banter Boss, aka Jon Snow, because I know absolutely nothing.
You know nothing, Jon Snow.
And these are facts. Captain of the Igloo, young, popular, and friendly, aka the Box Hunter, aka One Pop Poppy, aka the Bottom Feeder. It's the Self Medicated Podcast, and we out.